So, you want to see an epic floating nether island? Stay to the end of the video to learn how this epic creation came to be. Today, I'm going to show you guys the build progression across both the overworld and the nether, so hopefully you guys can learn some building tricks of your own, so you can make some epic builds too. Before we get started, be sure to smash that like button, or BCJ will be forced to an endless lifetime of misery on the edge of this lava pool. Enjoy. Without wasting any time, I first want to start by sharing how important it is to map out the area that you want to build before getting to work on any of the major details. This skill is important in both creative mode and survival mode when attempting a build. I started this project by finding an epic sized lava ocean in the nether and outlined the area with yellow concrete to determine how much area I had to work with. Once I'd produced my outline, I used the plugins World Edit and Lightmatica to transfer a section of the nether to a flat world where I could start working on my build. Initially, I cropped out all the nether based blocks from the area so I'd only be left with the yellow concrete. This gave me some clear guidance as to the size of the islands I could build. For this build, I decided it would be neat to have multiple islands. This decision would allow me to add a variety of biome types to the build down the line, including both the Crimson Forest and the Warped Forest. Once I had the two-dimensional island shapes down, it was time to work on building the underside of the islands. I chose to go with more than one style for these islands. For the first island, I chose a long, narrow pillar-like base. For the second island, I went with a donut shape because, you know, who doesn't like donuts? And for the third and fourth islands, I went with a more shallow underside to allow these islands to be placed closer to the lava ocean below, while still appearing to be floating. The majority of this building work was done using World Edit commands. If any of you would be interested in learning specifically how I made these and would like to see an in-depth tutorial on this, drop a comment down below and I will consider making a video on this topic in the future. Upon completing the shapes of the islands, I headed back to the nether to arrange each of these islands accordingly so they would fit well alongside each other. Ultimately, I felt that the long, narrow shaped island didn't look right when pasted on its own. For this reason alone, I chose to paste 3 of this island type alongside each other to make it more appealing, and boy, if you watch to the end of the video, you will see that this paid off big time. Next, it was finally time to start getting down to work on the more impressive parts of the build. First off, generating some terrain. I used World Edit brushes to paint each of the islands with their selective biome colours. For the donut shaped island, I went with a Crimson Forest vibe, and for the larger islands at the base of my island chain, I would use both Crimson and Warped dirt types. At the time of building, I was less certain as to what I would make of the upper 4 islands. For this reason, I coated the main island with both netherrack and a blackstone, and the 3 pillars with solely netherrack for the time being. For the second part of terrain generation, I started adding some altitude to each of the islands. To do this, I used the same World Edit techniques that I showcased earlier in the video when building the underside of each island. For the donut shaped island, I felt like it was a bit bland with just some Crimson Forest trees. For this reason, I added some nether quartz ore, some gold ore, a small cave, and the remnants of a bastion in the centre to add detail to the island. Having seen great success on the first, smaller island, I was starting to sense that this build was becoming one of the better builds on my channel. If you're loving this one as much as I am, don't hesitate to hit the like button below, and if you're feeling really friendly, share this one with your friends too. The next island adds some colour to the project. I have to say, the addition of both the Crimson Forest and the Warped Forest to Minecraft is definitely one of my favourite Minecraft updates. These 2 biomes add a whole new dimension of colour to the game. At first, I considered using a Soul Sand Valley theme for the 3 uppermost islands. However, I quickly came to my senses and realised the potential of creating my own custom nether biome. At first glance, the combination of obsidian, magma blocks and netherrack looks quite simple. However, as you're about to see, once we add fire, lava and turn on shaders, this custom biome generation starts to look absolutely insane. In my previous island building video, I built an epic custom tree to add purpose to my build. This time I went with a new idea, as I decided to build a custom nether temple which would house a nether portal at its peak. Within this build, I chose to use a combination of red and black coloured blocks, but later down the line I also add some white, purple and blue colours to add variety to my temple. Once I was happy with my temple design, I headed back to the Nether to finish my project. I pasted my temple, added some further quartz and gold ore, and did some final little tweaks, including working on improving the lighting for my build. So, there we have it, Nether floating island complete. Later this week, I'm planning to upload a tutorial for a Nether themed house, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on this. Also, if you want to download these builds for your own use, join my Discord via the link in the description below